So Samurai, I really like Samurai. It's pretty cool. But you look at level 17 Samurai, and I think it's like you get an extra action surge or something like that. Versus a wizard gets wish. They're
Yeah.
not really in the same category. Like nowhere in the same category.
Now, Wish got a big nerf hammer for 5e, which was necessary. I mean, I get that,
It's
but
still freaking
sure.
amazing.
But like, is there a chance that you'll just
No.
melt and your soul will
If
go to
if
some
if you
awful place in the
decide to do
abyss?
something just completely utterly whacked, yes. But if you replicate any 8th level spell in the book, no.
What's wrong with that?
What?
What? I'm joking. What's the
No.
what is there a monetary casting cost for Wish? Isn't it
Nope.
like 5,000
Zero.
gold?
Zero. It has one component, and it is verbal.
I wish this would happen.
Hmm.
Huh. Well,
So it's pretty cool.
it's good to be God.
Sorry, I was muted. The material cost is you have to watch 2 Wishmaster movies. Any 2. It's up to you.
Psychic
So
damage.
nobody will ever. Everybody's seen the first one. I couldn't bring myself to bring in the others to watch any others.
I haven't seen them.
The first Wishmaster.
Yep.
You know what? The dude's voice alone, Wishmaster. I mean, it's worth the whole movie.
It is the best part of
the movie. The absolute best part of it.
Once.
Yeah.
And the phrase you're looking for, Matt, is "It's fun to be a god."
Yeah,
it's fun to be a god. It's from Road to El Dorado.
Is that the actual?
Movie.
Is that the actual ditty that goes with it? Da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
It's fantastic.
You
should watch it immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right. We're gonna call it quits in 5 minutes.
Everyone, Kevin
Kline
for movie night.
Ooh,
Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh, if they were both bards.
They were both what?
Bards.
Oh my. Okay.
The first scene with the two of them like playing the dice game is epic.
Spoilers.
First scene.
Hey, Coward, what's up? Thanks for joining us again.
Matt, I had a story this morning that Taco Bell is doing a subscription.
I've heard about that. I forgot how much you have to pay a month, but you have unlimited like tacos or something like that.
It's like $10 a month, and you get 1 taco a day for 30 days for that $10, which is that's pretty good value if you're going to go in every day. But are you going to go in every day?
Should you? I think it's a better question.
Like, can you get all 30 on day one?
Mm-mm.
No, 1 per day.
So $30.
Well, what you could do is you could go in every day, 30 days running, and then just hoard them all until the end, and then try and eat them and see what happens.
Why is it so much cheaper to be unhealthy than it is to be alive?
It's because the man doesn't want you to be healthy.
Damn the man.
They want you to be fat and lazy.
Well, then they can sell you the healthcare and the fitness and the
yeah. Don't want to cure diabetes because it's too profitable to treat it. Oh, that's a rabbit hole.
From the comfort of your sofa.
I cannot go down with you. So we had Heath. How's everything going? Everything cool? Everything
warm? Everything warm?
Copacetic? Warm? Yeah.
I was thinking copacetic.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I was telling Matt.
Oh, this is the best fucking story ever.
Part of
just lead into it.
Yeah.
I'll get popcorn. Hang on.
Was that so I had some work scheduled and to replace some ducts in my garage. Anyway, came in, did the work, rushed the job. They were there till like really, really late Friday. 30 minutes after they left, the whole thing fell out of the ceiling.
Oh, jeez.
All the ductwork in the garage fell out of the ceiling.
So this is when I like to quote Ron White.
Mm-hmm.
when he's talking about, and he goes to Walmart to the tire specialist to have a tire replaced, and they've gone to school for this, and he's driving away in his van, and the tire falls off. It falls off. It falls the fuck off. Like, that's my favorite quote of his of all time. That's exactly what I think of when I think of this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I spent the next couple of days learning about HVAC. And when the crew finally came back to finish the work, I spent my entire day in the garage watching them. And I would stop them. I would say, no, you are not doing that. You're not going to use that material. You're going to do it this way.
All right. Heath, you've missed my favorite part. You skipped over my favorite part. Your Tony Stark version of when did you become a professional expert of HVAC? You're like, last night. I mean, like, literally, you wrote a dissertation on how to do this right and showed it to him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So I called them and like, okay, so when they show up, what are they going to do? So they made a list of like 3 things. I'm like, no. So I wrote like a full typed up page. I'm like, this is what you're going to do when you show up. And these are the materials you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it to them. And the crew showed up in the morning. I was like, have you seen this? No. All right, stop. You're going to read this. This is what you're going to do. I was like, let me call my manager. They ended up doing it all. But it's like, why? Why am I having to do this? Like, I'm paying you. I should not have to do this.
Yeah. Was it a company that had been around for a while?
Yeah. Actually, it's a fairly well-known company.
Oh, wow.
Is it a company that will continue to be around for a while?
it's now Heath's HVAC.
Yeah,
that's right.
What's really funny is, I like building things. And so I'm watching them do this, and I'm, it's like I've researched this, and it's like, yeah, you don't do that. That's against code. Change that out. You know what? I could do this for a living. I would hate it, but I could do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
You could consult for a living and go and teach and get paid a lot to do it. Because you're like talking to them about metal fatigue and making doors and all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They were doing stuff. I'm like, so how am I supposed to get this open to like change the filter? Oh, you just unscrew it and then change the filter, put the thing in and screw it back. I'm like, no. I look at the guy. No, we're not doing that. It was just amazing. It's like, wow.
That's the thing about being an engineer. It's like you go and you find out how it all works, and yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you're gonna go cut me a door. It's gonna look like this in this shape, bend it as sheet metal, and then we're gonna get some magnetic strips and put it in here, and I can take it on, put it off. No metal fatigue. It's like I'm doing this, and you're looking at me like, and y'all normally do it this way. This is insane. Insane.
It's funny. Like, Heath went on a nice 25-minute rant about this and told me in great detail. It was fantastic. Because sometimes I'm like, oh man. Sometimes I'm like, like just cracking up. And at the very end, all I could think of to say was, man, you are such an engineer. Because you literally engineered everything and had them do it right overnight. I did. It's outstanding. Why aren't you playing a tinker or
an artificer?
Artificer.
So I built one on D&D Beyond.
As an engineer would.
Which one did you like?
He plays one in real life. This is escapism.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously. I like. I'm sort of on the fence between I think it's Battlemaster. Is that right?
Battlesmith.
Battlesmith, yes. Battlesmith and Armorer. The thing I like about the Armorer is you can attack with your intelligence. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But when you squint your eyes and look at Artificer, they're like a super techie paladin. I mean, they're a half caster. I mean, they're kind of built like a paladin. They just got like different bells and whistles.
Yeah, they can do a bunch of different roles, and if you do the armorer, like you can actually swap between a couple of roles. So I think that's kind of neat. And then that cannon is the Battlesmith is the one with the cannon, right? It can have
that's artillerist.
Okay,
artillerist.
Okay, yeah. Artillerist has one cannon that just does one kind of damage, another kind of damage, but then it's got the heal cannon. It's like boom, you're healed. Boom, you're healed.
Well, it's like a cleric like attacking you with holy might.
Yeah.
Like, here's some radiant damage. Die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought about building a fiend lock or a warlock, Pact of the Fiend, but take a 1-level dip in Divine Soul Sorcerer, and that's just like irony. But
So confused.
it works.
The irony dip.
Yes, the irony dip.
So when you ran Strahd, Curse of Strahd, that was my character. I had a Fiendish Warlock, Tiefling Fiendish Warlock to begin with, and I could not get into it. No, that's what I came in with. I started with the Bard, and Bards in Ravenloft just don't do anything because everything's not affected by like charms and things like that. All the Bardy things. So I brought in the Fiendish Warlock.
You switched to the Fiend Lock. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was just I felt like a one-trick pony. I just didn't feel like I could do anything except for, and I did it well. Don't get me wrong. Like I blasted like the best blaster in the world, but that's all. It's no depth to that character. That's why I like the Bard. You're good in combat. You're good out of combat. You're good. Singing. I don't know. Bard is by far and has been since I think 3rd edition my favorite class.
Good at a party.
Good at a party for sure.
Balloon animals.
That's one of the classes that I've never played is Bard.
And 5e Bard is so much fun. They got so many tools. It's just, God, I want to play a Bard again. All right, next time I'm playing a Bard. I'm calling it dibs.
Dibs on the Bard.
Yes, as long as it's not
if
like
you had a group of like 4 Bards, you'd probably be in pretty good shape.
Especially if like 2 of them are halflings, because you get that automatic re-roll ones and never fail. Like I had a halfling Bard in one of my games, and he just succeeded all the time because it didn't take a lot to succeed, and a natural 1 was re-rolled, so it basically had quote like advantage if you roll a 1, and then he took luck for all the things he could take. Like he was just re-rolling stuff left and right, which Halfling Bard should be that way. That's why I'm gonna play Halfling Bard with luck. I'm copying Forrest. I'm copying you.
I have a Catfolk Bard lying around somewhere in a document folder.
I mean, it's in a box, right? Just laying there, curled up in a box.
Probably.
Yeah.
He is no doubt fleecing somebody out of money. That's what he does. He's like borderline rogue bard. It's amazing.
So just to check in with Twitch, I'm having issues, but I think it's because I'm streaming and I'm doing Twitch and I have like dial-up version of internet access right now. Is Twitch okay with everybody? Is it looking all right?
Let's see.
Like mine keeps reloading, like having me reload and stopping and buffering and just going wild.
Everything that's going out from me, I've got no dropped frames, so everything that's going out. Every now and then, Heath, your feed freezes just every now and then, but I've got my Twitch window tucked in behind my OBS window, so I'm not watching the stream. I'm just watching what's going out, and everything going out looks okay.
Okay.
Let's see if
All
I've
right.
got anything.
As long as you guys can see it, I've got it down to like 186 frame or whatever words. I don't know what that means. Hush.
The quality?
The lowest number. Yeah, you guys are literally pixelated in my Twitch.
Yeah, that's the number of vertical pixels that it's sending 160p.
Don't explain it.
Yeah.
Not helpful.
I heard you, and each individual word I understood, but putting them together makes no sense.
You're getting less information coming to you than we are sending out. How's that?
Perfect. When you draw a graph with
That's
circles
my
and
life.
arrows.
I'm always receiving less information than I'm actually being sent.
It's like you're looking. It's like you're looking through a wet screen door.
Yeah, yes.
How's that?
You look moist.
Not what I was going for.
Getting minimal drachmas per drachma.
Exactly.
Yeah. For every dollar we're sending out, you're getting 1 penny. Penny and a half.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Drachma.
So
we took a little intermission because Heath had issues to take care of. But 2 weeks ago, you guys had honored the invitation sent by Lord Aslaxon. Let me bring up my notes. That might be helpful because there's a lot of names in here. Got your suits. Didn't really do much. Didn't have anything to do. And headed off to the...
That's not true. We confronted Patch. we did things.
Well, after Patch, though. After Patch, you got... yeah, you're right. You talked to Patch and had some, I guess, unnerving realizations about how he's being spied upon, for less of a better word. Hang on, I'm bringing up my stuff. I am not ready today at all.
You're not ready.
I was not prepared.
Like I said, I was asleep 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, the reason why we had such a long interlude to get up to this morning was just to get Jamie awake.
So you guys have gone to the Koi Nixie, which is where the Demon Scar Ball has been held every year for several years by the Aslaxon family, and it is the regala of the year. All the nobles and the non-nobles who are deemed worthy get the invitation, and you know that part of the entertainment is them retelling the story of the founder of Cauldron. But as of right now, you've gone in, you talked with the captain of the guard, who pointed some people out, people you hadn't seen before. There's, noblemen, you don't ever see them on the street. They send their lackeys out to do all their work. And he pointed out all the movers and shakers of Cauldron. And you were able to finally have a chance to speak with Lord Vilantru, who's been your, what's the word? Like the guy that's been putting you up.
Our patron?
Your patron, yes. Speaking of your patron, putting you up in the Drunken Morkoth, paying for your food, just kind of putting you up as thanks. And he finally was able to tell you face to face, thank you. You've done more for this city in the last week than most people would do in their entire life. At which point, he had a little nice conversation with him, and he introduced you to Celeste, his guest for the night.
And I'm going to ask questions about Celeste. Did she say anything, or was she just quiet while we were talking to?
She didn't interrupt. She didn't interject. She was just, and I don't mean she was cold. She wasn't like meek. She was just being polite. She wasn't interjecting. Okay. She wasn't interrupting. But she was very obviously interested in the conversation, looking back and forth, nodding, especially when Lord Vilantru went on about how amazing you were and how good Farazan looked in his native tribal outfit. She's just very polite, but just keeping her mouth shut.
Yep. Did she happen to look like a beholder?
No, she's actually a very attractive blonde woman, probably in her mid-30s. With only two eyes. Only two eyes.
Did she say show a lot?
Nope. She was not invited. Poor Nalini is still stuck. What's that?
I was just going to say, I'm going to put only two eyes in my notes without any frame of reference. So in a week, when I'm looking back over these notes, I'm going to have no idea why that's important.
No idea what just happened.
It was the two-eyed human woman. Oh, okay.
Defining features, blonde, 30s, only two eyes.
And if there was a charisma score to be had in this late version of Dungeons & Dragons, it would probably be in the high teens. Okay. So you guys, following the announcement by the herald of the Demon Scar Ball, made the announcement for everybody to come upstairs to the actual ballroom. And as you arrive, you walk inside. It's what you think of when you look at in the movies these large, expensive dinners. There's tables with table settings and names on them, assigned seats. Everybody's just filtering through, finding their seat. A lot of people look like they know where they're sitting, as though they have been here before. The seats don't change from year to year. So you've got basically noble families at each table. So you'll have the Aslaxons and Lord Aslaxon and Lady Aslaxon and his son, Volanchu and Celeste are over at a table by themselves. So all the noble families have taken to their own seats. And you, the three of you, have your own seat.
The kids' table.
The kids' table. Yes, it's smaller, and the seat are only 3 inches off the floor, which is pretty awkward when it comes to eating the soup because it just pours right down your chest. But no, the three of you have your own table to the side with your nameplates on there, and for about 10 minutes, people are just slowly shuffling in. You hear pleasantries left and right from all the lords and ladies, complimenting each other on their costumes, their finery this year. You hear mutterings about the weather, just general mutterings of rich people talking about things that they're really not truly interested in.
Lord Smuggington, you look wonderful.
Lord Smothers, how are your grapes?
It's Smuckers.
Oh, Smother? No, okay.
Lord Smuckers.
Lord Smother. I'm gonna have to write that down because now he's canon in Greyhawk. Lord Smother. With the grape farm. Like I said, 5 or 10 minutes later, you all have a seat. Everything kind of settles down, and Lord Aslaxon, the host of the Demonscar Ball, walks to the front, and there's an open area. There's a dance floor beside where all the tables are set. And you imagine this is probably where the play is going to be held between Nabthoroton, write that down, Thoroton, and Surubar.
Thoritan.
Nabthoroton.
Sunday. Surubar versus Nabthoroton.
It's B square.
So I sat down and stared at this name for longer than I care to admit. And it is Nabthoroton. Thank you, Heath. Obviously, I have a problem with names like the Striders of Flagelhagen.
Bless you.
We got it.
So you guys sitting around the tables, Lord Aslaxon stands up, goes to the front, and he's older. He's early 60s, late 50s, you figure, graying where he used to be blonde. And you look over to his table and you see his son is just a spitting image of Lord Aslaxon. So it's no doubt who this kid is. And he begins to speak. He looks around, Lord Mayor, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you once more to this humble gathering. Once again, we celebrate the glorious Demonscar battle. And once again, we honor our heroic founder, Sundabar Spellmason. If only he could see today what his great work accomplished and see the glory of the city he created. And as he's talking, the servants are moving through the banquet hall, changing glasses, bringing hors d'oeuvres. The meal has begun. This year has proved especially difficult to our grand city. We've had kidnappings, and there's a little rhubarb through the crowd. Thwarted invasions, and a potentially disastrous flood, which has threatened our holdings and our welfare. However, we have had heroic adventurers who have been our salvation. One group, and he looks over to his table and he holds his hand out, I am extremely proud to announce, has my own son within it. Zachary, please stand up. And his son stands up. And the best description I can give you is a 30-year-old, oh crap, I just lost his name. The blonde kid in Harry Potter, the awful guy. Malfoy, yes.
Draco Malfoy.
He looks like a 30-year-old pompous Draco Malfoy. Stands up, got this just sly, snide grin, bows before everybody. And there's three other people stand up. One of them looks so blonde. I don't remember if you guys remember. Blonde and pale skin is not the common for this region. This is like South America, very dark hair, very dark skin, dark eyes. This guy is Aryan, for lack of a better word. Blonde hair, blue eyed. There's a woman that stands up, and she is definitely of the area. She's got long dark hair that's in her ceremonial robes. It's cornrolled back to kind of keep it back and keep it in place. One of the guys would look like a Snape with a Friar Tuck haircut, just very thin, long nose, kind of sour looking. And then there is also a woman with short red hair and several battle scars. Most obvious ones are on her cheek and lip. Looks like she's been in a brawl or two. And the four of them all stand up with Lord Laxton's son. And he says, Zachary, take a bow. These are the Stormblades. And everybody just goes crazy, just applauding. Everybody's commenting on how wonderful it is that the sons of the nobles and sons and daughters of the noblemen of Cauldron have gotten together to fight off the evil that have invaded Cauldron, and they're just getting rounds of applause left and right. These heroic adventurers have been our salvation. Another group has also proved their valor in the past few months, rising from poorer beginnings than our other heroes. He gestures over to your table. Have demonstrated a noble spirit nonetheless. They have single-handedly rescued the kidnapped orphans from the slave group below Cauldron. I've actually heard that there was a vampire slain, hordes of goblins fought off. Let's please all give a round of applause for these very brave and honorable adventurers. And he slightly bows and hands out to you and points to your table. And it's obviously not quite as the response as the children of the nobleman got, but there's a nice solid round of applause. Anybody have anything?
Tarathiel will bow from his seat.
Okay.
acknowledging the applause. Yeah, just.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I'll just, look and bow.
Thumbs up. Grin.
Yeah.
Raise a glass.
The roast is great. I don't say that.
Farazan?
Yeah. So if Tarathiel raises his glass, Farazan will lift his as well. But if no one stands, then Farazan will keep his seat.
Okay. So kind of playing off each other, following each other's lead, you basically nod, hold a glass half up, and thanks, or an acknowledgement at least of being acknowledged, acknowledging the acknowledgement.
Yep.
And the crowd claps and applauds. At this point, you see Lord Volanchu stand up rather slowly. He grabs his cane, and he's not hobbled. It looks like it's more like he's got a bad leg, and it's helping him not. It doesn't look like it's appearing to make him walk better, as though he's got a bad leg, he'll fall down. It's more looks like it's to steady him. It's just it's a light tap on the ground, like a, what I mean? Does that make sense? He's not leaning on it. It's not. He's not dependent on it. It's more of a, this is helping me like not waver. And he stands up and
balance, not load bearing.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. And he walks over to Lord Laxton, and you hear him just say in a very humble, "May I?" And Lord Laxton, eyes arched, says, "By all means, of course." And he takes a half bow and steps back. And Lord Volanchu steps up. Lord Laxton has given a wonderful speech And again, let's hear it for the Stormblades and all that they've done. They fought off a a kobold warren that was somewhere in the hive honeycomb that falls beneath Cauldron. But I must reiterate the impressive outcome from these strangers. I've spoken with them. They've barely been in town 3 months, 4 months. They were here days when they originally rescued the children from the evil clutches of this slave ring down below Cauldron. Just mere weeks later, they clean out a warren of goblins and apparently vanquish a vampire. I would like to raise a glass again to the saviors of the children of Cauldron and the vanquish of the goblins. We thank you. You have no ties to the city, yet we are in your debt. And at this point, you get an applause that kind of overshadows the original applause from the Stormblades. And you get 4 really salty looks from the 4 of them at their table. From different tables. They're at the family tables. And Lord Volantre stands and lets the fanfare die down a bit. I would like to personally dedicate this night to these 3 errant adventurers. Bravo. And we are lucky to have you. And he hobbles, moves back to his table. And again, the fanfare is just enormous, almost embarrassing. Probably for Farazan. I feel like you're like don't like the attention so much. Definitely for Tarathiel. I imagine you're trying to crawl under a rat hole or something. Not liking people to know who you are.
Stealth roll.
Yes. Vanish in plain sight.
Yeah, no, because I'll pass that.
This is true. And as the people of the ball start to settle down, this whole time, the waiters and waitresses have been moving through the crowd, replacing drinks, bringing out second meal. And Lord Aslaxon does not seem as pleased with Lord Volantru's original as he did originally. Like when Volantru walked up, he was like, "Oh my goodness, Lord Volantru, of course, please." When Volantru starts to leave, looks at him, kind of cuts his eyes, says, "Thank you, Lord Volantru, for those kind words. And now we will continue on with this part of the evening. The meals shall be continued for the next hour. Please enjoy. These have been imported from all around Orith, and some of the finest foods in our region, the fruits of our plantations," which he looks over to a couple of tables, which we thank you very much for your kind, generous donations to this Demon Scar Ball. And one of the noblemen stands up. He says, "Lord Vanderboren, we thank you." And at that table, you see the kid, 30-year-old, the one that looks like Snape, but with a bowl haircut. He's sitting there and he's just, looks like he's trying to not be seen. And the Lord Vanderboren sits down. And I must say that for tonight, the dessert is cauldron cake made by none other than my wife. And he points to her, and she stands up, beaming from ear to ear, bows, gets nice applause, and sits down. And finally, Lord Aslaxon goes and sits at his table and continues to eat. So for the next 30 minutes, you guys are being served. You have food, you have drink, anything that you would like to do during the meal.
I feel suspiciously like somebody just painted a giant target on my back.
On your back.
Target of goodness.
I think
I need another drink.
painted it on the front.
Yeah. After that happened, I'm like, is this poisoned? It's like, are we gonna go home and die now?
Wake up dead.
Doesn't work that way in 5e. You just take damage. You'll die now.
Yeah.
Oh, That's good to know. Well, at least there's
for it.
no like
Roll for initiative.
suspense. My food is attacking me.
Do we know what cauldron cake is? Have we had that?
And it's so funny because Ian, I'm sorry, Ein in the chat.
That's
Jamie.
me.
You put lava cake. It's essentially lava cake. So a nice chocolate cake with full of chocolate fudge, I guess. I don't know.
Liquid chocolate, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think
That's-
one of your girls made that for Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yep. That's one of her favorite things to
Cauldron
make.
chocolate.
It's really good.
Yep.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah, I'm gonna try everything on every tray that comes by.
Okay.
Just as just grab them as they walk by.
Well, I'm not gonna like
Gorge yourself.
ham hand it, but it's like if there's some, because I don't know what any of this stuff is. I'm not gorging myself, but it's like,
Right.
oh, what is that? Oh, what is this? I'll try that.
One of those,
And I may
one
have
of
like
those,
7
one of those.
drinks like around my plate because it's like, oh, that one's pink and this one's clear and that one's red.
Yeah.
Trying to experience all that's available.
Everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
in this area.
Making meaningful eye contact with the servers as they go past.
Yes. Thanking them profusely
Yeah.
for their service.
Thank you.
My guess is
You
that
need one of
this
those.
food-
Not creepy at all.
Go ahead, Mike.
Jamie.
I was
We're
gonna
having
say
a
that Farazan's probably like he's not used to the rich food. Growing up in the mountains and all that stuff, everything's kind of flavored naturally. So, like, he takes a bite of this baked Alaska, or not baked Alaska, lava cake, and it's probably overwhelming to him. I mean, he's probably had a few things here and there in the city, but chocolate cake with liquid fudge in the middle of it is whoa.
Well, if you're not going to finish it, I'll eat it.
It's getting cold. Fireball.
Yeah,
That's
he'll
kind of his
definitely-
mindset. It's like this is amazing.
So the portions, you think of like a 5-star restaurant where you get, I order a steak and they bring you out like a silver dollar size piece of meat with a piece of sprig of parsley beside it and drizzled something dark. Like that's the kind of thing. But you've got 6 and 7. It's more like a Korean dinner because there's like 15 different meals.
Mhm.
You've got a dozen different forks and knives and spoons, and nobody really seems to be paying much attention to you guys if you're faltering with like, oh my God, I've got the wrong fork or whatever. Nobody's really paying much attention. It's just meal. It's 5 appetizers and then 2 salads, but they're all tiny, just bites, almost bites of each meal.
Okay. Yeah.
So by the time the cauldron cake comes out, you're not really full. Like you've eaten 17 bites of 15 different plates, but you're not full at all.
Yeah, if that's the case, then Farazan he'll slide the little lava cake, and he'll say, yeah, the steak or the bird or whatever it was that came out. He says, I would like to have much more of the main dish, please. None of this sweet. That is too much.
Okay, I'll take it.
Slides
I
it
have
over.
2. Now I have 2.
And the waiter bows and says, of course. And he runs off, and within a minute, he's back with another portion of the Roth steak they have brought in from the Underdark, that kind of thing. Like it's the most
Yum.
exotic places. And
Mushroom fed.
and it's very tender. It doesn't feel like leather at all.
Doesn't feel like leather at all. That's great.
I heard a comedian describe fine dining as taking the worst possible ingredients and then making a meal that contains almost no trace of them. It was like you take a chicken liver and then make something that doesn't taste like it contains chicken liver.
Take a chicken liver and serve them goose egg.
Yeah.
So
Tarathiel would like to keep an eye on the Stormblades without being seen to be keeping an eye on them. He just wants to know if they're paying special attention to us now that we've been set
casually.
against them. Yeah, exactly.
Do they all have 2 eyes?
They all have a pair of eyes apiece. And that, remember, they're not all sitting together. They're sitting with their
Yes.
families. But during the
Makes it even harder to keep an eye on them all.
if you'd like to, you can give me a stealth check to kind of, keep one eye on them, one on your lava cake or cauldron cake, so that Farazan doesn't eat it.
I could see him like,
so I'm sorry. So that
holding up the
Calvin.
silverware and like using the silverware as a
For
mirror to look
reflection.
around behind him. Yeah.
23.
up in the oh god, yeah. All right, so yeah, you could basically be staring at them and they wouldn't notice. So you keep an eye on them. You're looking at them. Whatever that wave of irritation and anger that they may have had has now died down because they're being fawned upon by everybody that's around them now. Like the tables that are next to them, you see people leaning over, patting them on the shoulder, good job, your mutterings of taking out the evil kobolds, and your father's proud of you, things like that. You see that they're being there are several noses up, several butts over in that area. But they don't seem to be paying particular attention to. Every once in a while, one or two of them will glance over at your table, but they don't seem to be focused
Staring daggers at us.
Yeah, no.
That was my concern.
Yeah.
They'll be more subtle than that. Okay. I guess, does anybody come to visit our table?
No.
No?
That's
Okay.
probably good.
Interesting.
The waiters are, right?
Oh yeah, in mass.
That's all that matters.
And it seems like there's more waiters around your table than anybody else's. Everybody else is getting what they get and just casually eating.
I'm going to give him a gold piece.
And you offer the gold, and he said, "No, sir, thank you, but I can't. I'm not needed, and I am not permitted. Thank you, though. I appreciate your offer."
We'll be
Okay.
fired.
Yeah.
Right. The food's very good. You've done a great job.
I will let the chef know.
If only there were
You should be
more
proud
it.
of yourself.
You served this well.
More people involved?
I've never seen anybody plate a plate like that before in my life.
Farazan
Anybody
kind of
get-
leans over and he says, "If only there were more of it."
Sir, I will bring you whatever you like. You ask, and I will bring you another dish.
About 5 more of those steaks, please.
And he
So,
half bows and quickly walks off. Within a minute, you've got a plate that has enough steaks to completely cover the actual plate.
Excellent.
is it one plate with 5 steaks, or is
Yeah.
it 5 individual plates with steaks?
It's one plate with like little silver dollar sized plates formed all the way around to where it completely covers the plate.
Nice.
Would you like some A1?
If you can eat that in half an hour, your name goes on the wall.
That would be fantastic.
You see Vilantru dump some peanuts on the floor.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a real
Not that
it's a
sort of
real
party.
hoedown.
Gotcha.
I actually did manage to complete one of those, but it was when I was in Cameroon.
Oh my god.
No. It wasn't an American version where they give you a giant plate of something. It was a small, fancy quote unquote restaurant in Douala, Cameroon, and I ordered one of the dishes that came with a certificate if you finished it, and it was ended up being iguana with black sauce, and it was actually really, really good. So
Tastes like chicken.
it
Tastes like chicken.
yeah, it tastes like chicken. The porcupine tasted like ham, which is a little odd, but they're little pig.
That's the
looking things,
rabies.
so.
Extra flavor.
Well,
I knew a guy who did one of those things, those challenges, and the challenge was you had the steak, a salad, and a potato, and you had like an hour
Yeah.
to eat this whole thing. The steak was a freaking pot roast. I mean, it's not a steak; it's a gigantic. It's like a 5-pound slab of meat.
Yeah.
Not only that, they would have a waiter stay nearby to make sure you don't go to the bathroom
Oh wow.
because they don't want you to purge while you're consuming the food. I guess I don't know. You're not allowed to go to the bathroom while you're eating.
Did they get
Seems
you
extreme
get
to
the
me,
meal
but
for free basically if you?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and your name on the wall of shame. Otherwise, it's like a $75 meal, right? I mean,
Oh dang.
yeah. Anyway,
I'm I'm looking through character sheets in the background, going, "Who's our face?" Oh, right, we don't have one. That was Rachel, probably.
That's Rachel.
Let's say Farazan.
Yeah.
Farazan has the greatest charisma of all of us. So
he's the face only because when they look over, his is the one that's above everyone else's face.
Above everyone else's, yeah.
So if nothing else, 30 minutes, 45 minutes pass. The meals come and go. The cauldron cake is served. Anything else?
If there's any leftovers, I'm going to ask for a box.
A doggy bag.
No, I don't mean like, everybody's food, but if I ate something that was really, really good, it's like, because I hate to waste it and it's really good. It's like, so I'll ask the waiter, it's like, is there like a bag or something I could put this in to take it with me?
And you're at a very rich, very fancy party. If you ask for a doggy bag, they will bring you a bag containing a small doggy.
A labradoodle.
You just get a puppy.
Of all night, of all the requests for a plate of meat and like extra this and extra that, this is the only time where there's even just a half second of hesitation. The waiter goes, "Of course, sir." And he walks off. And a little bit longer than a minute. Like it looks like he's had to go and find something.
Yeah.
He comes back with a nice silk purse. Not
God.
purse, but like a silk bag.
Yeah.
And hands it to you. Would you like me to put it there, or would you like to do it yourself?
No. I can do it.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's worth 10,000 gold. Like this is the weirdest. No,
I win. This is the treasure of the entire adventure.
Yeah. It's a bag of holding.
You might have.
It looks like
created a
this is
faux
the
pas.
only thing you can find that would even closely resemble to do the job.
Yeah. Well, I thank you very much, and I'll just, because I've tasted everything that there is. I'll just grab a couple things and put it in there.
Okay.
Just envisage him going out the back and saying, "He wants a bag. He wants a what? He wants a bag."
What? He has no nose, and he wants to take the cake home. What do I do? Give him a damn bag. What's the question here?
We're never going to get invited back again.
A very, very faulty tower scene happening behind closed doors in the kitchen, where they're just like running around.
It's like it's like how do I show that I don't really have good manners without being a slob? You know what I mean? It's like he's not a messy slob. It's just you just don't do these things.
He's committed a faux pas.
Yes.
Yeah. It's actually quite neat. It's
You
just
don't know the
this
etiquette.
is just wrong. Yeah,
You've never
exactly.
been to a ball
Yeah.
like this before.
Is the cauldron cake good?
Delicious. There's actually nothing that you've eaten, unless you just don't like bananas, because that's one of the hors d'oeuvres is a banana thing. It's all
banana.
exquisite. It's all exquisite. Yeah, just a banana wrapped. You have to peel it yourself. Everything's delicious.
It's been peeled and then it's been wrapped in banana skins.
To make it authentic.
Yeah.
It's like a twice baked potato. It's a twice baked banana. Just mush it up. and
Twice
stick it
peeled
back in.
banana.
Twice chewed.
Wondering how much trouble I want to get Tarathiel in. Heck, it's more fun that way. After eating cake, Tarathiel will stand up and he'll wander to the Azlaxan table to congratulate the lady on her delicious cake.
And you walk over, and you're one of very few people that actually stand, except for the waiting staff. So as you stand, everybody notices.
Mm-hmm.
No stealth check's going to work. No stealth check you can come up with is going to work for this one. So you walk over to the Azlaxan table, and it is father, husband, wife, and son. That's only three people at this table. And as you approach, the young man Zachary, who's actually quite handsome. He's got this rugged handsomeness to him, right? No, I'm sorry, that's different. This is no, he's not handsome at all.
This guy's ugly. He's horrifically ugly.
Yes, yes, he is staring daggers into you as you walk up, and you approach the table, and both Lord and Lady Azlaxan stop, put their hands in the lap, and look up politely. Yes.
Trouter will give a bow. He doesn't really know what to do in this situation, but he'd be like, I want to thank you for your hospitality and especially for the delicious cake, my lady.
She gives you one of those, you're welcome.
Now go away.
And congratulations to your son for his efforts in helping the city.
And that's
if you can, I think Trouter like try and clap a hand on the kid's shoulder if he's can stand in that spot.
So you're close enough, but as you say, I'd like to give you my congratulations. You see him his head whips to you. I don't need your congratulations. And you put your hand out. He slaps it away. Who are you?
Farazan takes note of this.
Not violently. He's not attacking you, but he knocks your hand away.
Farazan will remember this.
And you see his father not really look at him. He's still looking at you, and he's probably got the most pleasant face of the trio. He puts his hand on his shoulder. No, Zachary. He's giving you a compliment. You will take it, and you will be polite. And you see him kind of adjust himself, rein in that whatever rage he had going. Thank you, citizen.
Thank you. We look forward to helping to keep the city safe.
We've got that. Don't you worry about it.
Well, there's lots of city.
And you see him
plenty of opportunities.
You see him look at his dad, and his dad's just like, don't do it. You just see him shaking his head, don't do it. Not saying that, but you get that, you get that feeling. Dad's like, don't you do this again. That kind of feeling.
Well, thanks again. Gotta go back to my table. There's probably more cake.
And Lord Azlaxan, as you're leaving, says, thank you. The other two are quiet.
Okay. And yeah, Trouter will probably snag another drink or two on the way back to the table.
Off their table. You grab the kid's
drink.
No,
I did think about it. I absolutely thought about stealing his drink, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to start this.
Oh, it's already been brought in.
No, I know, but I'm not gonna be the one to. I'm not gonna put my foot in that. I'll let him do it.
You got a spare finger or two.
So the punishment for the four members of the Storm Bringers, whatever they are, they're in formal attire, so there's no way we could get an idea of their profession, except for the one with the scars. Probably gets hit a lot, but the other ones, we really can't tell what kind of profession they are.
So
if you have a Friar Tuck haircut, you're probably a cleric. Just saying.
He looks way Weasley. Like, he's not Friar Tuck rotund. He's just got the weird, like, Sword and Sorcery, the main bad guy, he's got like that straight across haircut, that old 80s movie where they shoot the blades, that just evil like frame, like a helmet head. That's what this guy's got. You definitely can tell he did not make that decision himself.
Oh, good.
So the four, you were talking to the captain earlier, and he was pointing people out, right? So the woman with the cornrows, the dark-skinned woman, she is sitting at the table of the Tasker Hills, and that was one of the families that Captain was talking about. Another one, the lady, the short red hair with the scars, she is sitting at the Lethenmeyer table. and the Weasley Snapish guy is sitting at the Vanderboren table, and then of course you got Aslaxon,
Zachary.
Zachary Aslaxon the second.
Ooh.
Wait, does that mean his dad is also Zachary?
Senior.
Not necessarily. Not
Senior.
necessarily.
Saint.
Senior. Don't even know her. I got nothing else. I'm Tarathiel is going to drown his social anxiety. I think like my intent was for us to be seen talking to the Lord. Just to get people talking and thinking about us.
Okay.
As much as Tarathiel doesn't want to be seen, he kind of does want to be seen. Like, for him, this is a business opportunity.
You have absolutely no doubt whatsoever in your mind that that mission was accomplished. You were seen
Yeah.
by every single person in that room, and every single person heard the entire conversation. So yes.
Yeah. And
Mission
that's where I'm kind of hoping that after doing that, people are now thinking about us.
Definitely.
One way or another.
Mhm.
And you can tell because it got quieter, not because people were talking. So, you know, the normal conversation was conversational tone. Now people are talking more in whispers and like, you know, things like that. So the tone of the room kind of diminished about an octave. Is that the right word? Decibel? Whatever. It got a little quieter.
Decibel is right.
Yes.
Octave just means it gets lower in pitch. That's
Yeah,
not what you want.
Who was that guy?
Everybody's now talking like this.
So, yeah,
Rhubarb, sort of
everybody
water
got
rhubarb.
a little bit quieter, but still the conversation is going about the room. And you're certain that a good percentage of it is at least being discussed about you.
Excellent.
Hopefully that went okay, and we're not going to get murdered before dawn.
So
I let the waiter know that I'm going to write the best review for this place.
you're getting
It's really good.
5-star Yelp review.
It's called that because the town crier just has to like yelp it on the street corner.
So when Tarathiel says, you know, he hopes that went well, Terzan kind of, you know, raises an eyebrow and kind of leans in and he says, "What were you intending to do, my
I
friend?"
think we have telepathy going, don't we? We had
Oh.
it for like 8 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, you do. You're right.
It's ridiculous.
You're like,
The one time we probably don't need it for 8 hours. That's
Yeah.
when I rolled above
Yeah.
a 1.
I do remember that. So so he'll ask, you know, what was your intention there?
There's a lot of money in this room. If we can get some people interested in us, then we might get some more work.
There are jobs posted on the board. We do not need for them to come to us.
Not like these ones. These people have very deep pockets.
Maybe we should just ask them for work.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, we'll just go
government
table
took
to
my
table.
job.
Hi, my name is Farzan. Do you have something you want killed?
Or lifted very high.
That's right.
So the time passes. The meal comes to an end. This time, the Lord Mayor stands up and goes before the group of people, the ball.
Have we met him before? I don't think so.
Not in person.
No,
You've seen
I
him.
have just now.
The Lord Mayor?
No, Lord Mayor is different to.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lord Mayor you've seen because he'll be down at the little gazebo thing by the lake, and they have award ceremonies and they have weekly announcements and things like that. He is a seen figure, but to have personally met him, no, you have not. And he goes before the group, he goes before the people of the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the fight between Nubthoriton and Surabar. And you've got this enormous applause. Everybody's clapping. And he goes and sits down. Oh, yeah. Rhubarb. And as they're applauding, from one door, you see quite literally a demon. It's not a costume. You see, like, it's frightening at first, but it's obvious that it's not. It's very well costumed, and Khaldun, you can tell there's some magic involved to
Okay.
improve. Actually, honestly, you can all pretty much tell there's got to be some magic involved for the image to make him look authentic.
Realistic.
Is it
Yeah.
how obvious is there like a human face with it around, or does it like almost realistic?
So it would be like comparing a real person to CGI. Like you could tell CGI is CGI, right? In like our movies versus
Yeah.
a real human next to him. That's kind of
Yep,
how you can
okay.
tell. It looks like CGI, right? It looks like it's been magically enhanced to, because the demon that comes out is 10 feet tall.
Okay, and
I
so
mean, it's
in that case, so Farazan was expecting like the little masks that
Yeah.
that they were. So if a 10-foot tall, you know, otherworldly being comes through the door, like he will stand and
Okay.
you know, and with
Chair
his
clatters to the floor behind him.
staff, like you know, off his back. Yeah, and,
Okay.
and he'll stand briskly, and I'm sure the chair goes across the,
Yeah,
behind him.
yeah. The scritching of the record does occur. So you stand up quickly. The chair kicks out behind you. You're going to reach for your staff,
Mhm.
and the demon figure is walking in, stops, and looks at you, and you hear like cocky laughing, like haughty laughing towards you, as all the people, the rest of the ball, not everybody, like, the captain is over there and he's not laughing. He's still grinning from ear to ear, like complete awe that he's actually still in this building.
I'm just jazzed to be on
I'm
the show.
so happy to be here. But you hear just mean laugh, like mean girl laughing at you,
Okay.
as you stand up, and you hear mutterings like primitive and blah blah blah. And while that happens, like in the middle of it, within seconds, you see Lord Vilantru stand up rather quickly, and he looks to you, Farazan, and says, "Farazan, I agree with you and your assessment. The costume this year is without peer. Bravo to the magicians, the wizards, and the costumiers of this year's Nabthoriton. Bravo." And he starts clapping. And then the angry, the laughing, the making fun slowly changes over to applause,
Mhm.
and people nodding, and you hear people saying, "Yeah, he's right. That's a great," and they're agreeing with him. And you see him looking over at you, and you catch him just kind of wink as he sits back down.
We have to sign this guy as a manager.
You're right. Right. I was actually thinking maybe that he's got some kind of thing going on here. This an ability or magic that he's doing, unless he's just that charming. I mean,
He's got some charm.
he's got some
I
charm.
think he's
Yeah.
he's making a play for top dog in the city, I think.
Yeah. His name is, before, I mean, outside the Demon's Ball and outside of your actual interactions with him, not personally, but him being your patron and things like that, you hear his name fairly often for somebody that you never see. Like, Lord Vilantru's done this. He's paid for that. He's this, that. Like he's a philanthropist. He's very well known in the city, and apparently everybody loves him.
Mhm.
And now that he's done this, like, you stand up, you're scared by, maybe not scared, but you're startled by this visage, and the way that he just within 5 seconds changes the crowd from laughing at you to applauding you is rather scary, actually.
Yeah, that's
Masterful.
Yes.
So as Farazan retrieves the chair and sits back down, he will comment through the telepathic link. It says that man's control over this crowd is impressive. we should do what we can to keep him on our side.
I look at the demon and I say, Farzan, take a look at his feet. See if you check it, and I'm not quite like hushing. I'm actually speaking quite, like
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people next to us. If you'll check the shoes, see right there, you can see that they actually missed that. So
Yeah,
it's
too many
an illusion.
toes. Yeah, too many toes.
Yeah, it's
or
an
something
illusion.
Like that.
Always check the shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say the shoes. Check out the shoes. So the demon that you're seeing, this 10-foot tall red beast, has kind of a feral's not the right word. Canine look. It's got a pair of horns. It's got 4 arms, 2 regular arms on the bottom, and the top 2 arms are twice the size, ending in pincers. And it's got the backward leg and the spiked toes. And you hear grumbling. Like the only thing that's really been affected is what you see. So you hear the actor that's within the image grumbling like "Grr, rah." Like it's a little off-putting because it doesn't match the actual CGI, but it sounds like they're doing the best job they can.
Yeah.
And from the other side of the ballroom, the other door opens, and you see, essentially, for lack of a better word, freaking Gandalf walk out. Right? I mean, Surabar was absolutely sword and staff. Everything about him is Gandalf the White, fighting the hordes in the end
The
of
Balrog.
not the Balrog, like after the Balrog. That's Gandalf the Grey. This is Gandalf the White when he's up in the castle.
Yeah.
And he's swinging a sword and swinging staff and like all this stuff. And he comes out, and he's got like almost this haze of glow around him, just to accentuate his power. And the two approach each other, and they bow, kind of awkwardly, yeah. And you hear Lord Azlaxon speak up. Lord Surabar, Spellmason, was known for his swordsmanship. And the guy draws his sword. And they go through a very thematic, theatrical, not choreographed, they're not fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all representation. So he pulls the sword and he swings it at oh my God, I will never, ever get this name right. Nabthoratons.
Call him Nabby.
Nabby. Oh, Nabster. Hits him with the sword and he buckles over the
Nabster.
side. And you see one of the pincer hand grab and pull Surabar in close. And you see him. It's just this very slow, drawn out, theatrical, not fight. It's not a fight scene at all.
It's a Tai Chi battle.
Yeah.
I like Coward's suggestion of like, ooh, I'm a scary demon.
Yes.
I'm scary.
Yeah, you must play me the best song in the world.
And as they're fighting, whenever Surabar will hit the demon, you'll see a flash of light from the sword, or a flash of light, or you'll see him step back and you'll cast a spell, and it'll be a fireball. No heat, but like somebody is obviously behind the scenes casting spells, probably some prestidigitation, some minor illusion, things like that, just to kind of amplify the non-performance that you're seeing. And
So,
this goes on. Go ahead.
Just curiosity. So, Khaldun is watching this going on, but he's looking for like the wizard in the wings that actually it's casting the spell. So he's looking for people casting spells off in the shadows.
Do not see anybody.
No. Okay.
No. I mean, you can be perception you like, but you just do not see anybody.
Okay, that's fine.
This play fight, this slow reenactment goes on, and Lord Azlaxon is just commenting every once in a while how Surabar was taken down to a knee, and he came back to life, not back to life, but resurgence of power, and took his staff and blah blah blah. And it just goes on and tells the story basically of the fight between a wizard and a demon, and Surabar in the end defeats Nabthoraton. So
That's good. I had a gold piece on that fight.
it's pretty contrast to the level of entertainment. So that level of entertainment versus the food that you had, it's kind of night and day. Like it doesn't seem to fit this epic level of nobility coming to a ball.
What's
Um,
what's the place that you can go and eat a meal like it's a Ren fair? Like you go and then the
Oh.
knights go and joust in the middle.
yeah,
Medieval times.
medieval times.
Medieval
Yep.
times, yeah. So it's like a 5-star medieval times.
Yes,
We-
basically the food is 5-star.
Yeah, we have a different version of that here in East Tennessee. It's called Dolly Stampede. They have horse tracks and a guy in a chicken
So,
suit.
oh my God, when I was in my associate's degree, just real quick, there was these two friends, and they spent all this time together all the time. They were showing pictures of them doing this, that, and the other, and they showed a picture of them going to medieval times or whatever, Dolly Stampede, and it had the two of them standing side by side on the upper level, and the guy that was riding the horse was in between them, right? And it's just three of them. It's a very plain picture, but like the caption is me, my friend, and the horse. It was on Facebook, and I remember commenting, "Oh my God, they call him the horse," because you could barely see the back end of the horse at all. Like you don't see the horse at all, but you see this guy with a cowboy hat just smiling. I'm like, they call him the horse. I don't know. Just that struck me as so hilarious.
They call me Mr. Horse.
Caballo. So basically, what you feel like has happened was the fight is more out of tradition. It was the traditional reenactment of the fight that's been going on for years after years after years. And it seems like they're just trying to maintain tradition with how the fight goes. Even the announcement that Lord Aslaxon is making during the combat seems like it's been rehearsed 100 times. So this was a traditional show showing how Surabar defeated Nebuthoroton and later went on to be the founder of Cauldron. Not much to it, kind of disappointing. But in the end, when Surabar finally strikes the final blow with the staff, there's a bright flash of light and a puff of smoke, and the demon's gone. And then Surabar turns to the crowd, bows deeply, and walks back out the door he came in. And you'd have thought this was the greatest show on earth, the way that people are responding to it. But the more you look around, you feel like the people are responding to each other's response, like they're trying to one up each other's loving of this tradition, this thing that's been set forth in the history of Cauldron. Like this is their heritage, and they're very proud of this kind of thing.
That was fantastic. No, it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was magnificent.
Better than great, it was good.
Splendiferous.
And once the fight is over, for lack of a better word, coffee. Well, coffee. They actually exported this. They bring around coffee, more drinks. There's at this point after the fight's over, the people start moving a bit more, a little more fluid, not just sitting in their seats, going from table to table, trading pleasantries.
Somebody's moving a table. I hear
Yeah, that was you standing up to fight the demon.
him.
And just a few minutes after the fight ends and the crowd is just flowing back and forth and talking, you see Jenya, who looks like she's fighting her way through the people that work here, the waiters and the
Uh-oh.
concierge,
Here it comes.
people like that. Looks like she finally gets to the door, and they're standing. They're not holding it, but they're standing in front of like, no, ma'am, you can't. Blah blah blah. And she walks over to your table, looks at the three of you. I need you now.
Can I finish
I
my
get up.
coffee first?
I'll
Yeah.
take the cup. I'll take the cup with me.
Get a cup of Joe. You pour it in the silk sack.
No.
Did we get another bag for the coffees?
And she has this. It's not fear, but it's dread. Somewhat fear, dread, and like just absolute sense of urgency on her face. I need you now.
All right. I get up, I grab my silk purse,
Yep.
and I
It's a thing.
follow her out.
And I enchant that as a bag of holding. I can see it coming.
Yes.
Fair's on. Oh yeah, and including the extra volume, it'll have temperature control. So anyway, sorry. So as Farazan like stands and gets his wits about him, and starts to follow her, he's like, "What has happened?"
I'll tell you next week.
Dang it!
We're gonna spend a whole week at Jinya's.
Oh,
Awesome.
wow. I did not expect that ball to last that long, but yeah.
If you give us scenery, we will chew it.
True.
Yeah.
True. Thank you all for joining us once again. We will be back same bat time, same bat channel next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Dawn Daylight Savings Time, to find out why Jinya is upset.
Speaking of which, we need to mark session 43 as the moment when Cowett equated Lord Valentru and Bruce Wayne. So if it turns out that he's a vigilante, then Cowett earns a drachma.
Yes, you will. If you're correct, you will get a drachma. Now I gotta figure out how to do a drachma. Huh.
I got one. It was easy.
just get on the internet.
Guys, thanks for
Alright.
joining us. I hope you had a good time. I guarantee you next week there will be a lot more action.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's good.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping
Good.
by. Give us a
A hoot and a holler.
yeah. Come by Discord and hang out if you want, and this will be on YouTube pretty shortly, and give us a subscribe over there if you don't mind, and I will fire up the outro music.
So here's the thing: is I was briefly considering Counterspell, just briefly.
Just, you're gonna heckle the play.
Oh my God!
That's a
Thank
shame.
you.
Khaldun was fun.
Calhoun was fun.
Trying to think of how that would go.
See, I would have to see the caster casting, right? That's why I'm looking
Right,
around.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
where is this guy?
I have got to fuck with him. The problem is, it's like this minor illusion would fall, and you'd see like this 5'2" naked dude standing there, like. You know how like a Rampage when they shrunk back down, they covered them, and they like inched off the screen.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, all.
Holding two paper mache pincer claws on the ends of Bruce.